At the third stroke, the time will be 26 and 0 minutes. Yes, you heard it right, 26 hours in a day. Imagine the possibility to multiply time. And how about never, ever making a mistake again? Here at Aggranda, we spend 100% of our time training software robots that will create time in companies and in people's lives. Aggranda, time to grow.
Hi there, my name is Cristian and I'm very happy to be part of the Chatbot conference. First of all, I hope every one of you is safe during this crazy period of time. Today we will talk about software robots and how these software robots can help you and your company to be more efficient and to scale faster. Aggranda comes from the verb aggrandize, which means to amplify, to magnify, to increase. And we say that we create time. We create time in companies and in people's lives. And we do this with the help of the software robots. We are a team of about 20 people at the moment, located in 2 offices from Romania. We automate using this technology, which is called RPA, Robotic Process Automation, and we use the UiPath platform. We solve the problem of repetitive and very repetitive work, and also we reduce human errors to 0. There are a lot of benefits that this software are having, and I will mention a couple of them. First of all, they have 100% accuracy. Once a robot is trained to do something, they will do exactly like that, so they will not do any mistake. Another one is the cost. So the cost is up to 30% of the cost of one full-time employee. Then a robot is available 24 hours a day. The robot is available also during the weekends, also after the program. So for example, we have robots that in the morning are working on the HR tasks, and at the noon they are doing some processes from the finance department, and during the night the robots are working on reporting to help humans have everything when they come in the morning. And of course, one robot can work 3 to 4 times more than humans, and that's because they work after the program, and also they can work in the weekends. What's important to mention here is that the goal of these robots is actually to help humans, not to replace them. So we use robots to get all the repetitive and mundane work that humans usually hate to do it, and then we free up humans and we make sure that humans are doing work that is more relevant for themselves and also for the company. For example, focus on the customer service more, analyzing data more, taking decisions, and so on. Of course, the robots are reducing human errors to 0, and because we are talking about very, very repetitive work, as a human, it's normal to do mistakes there. So I think it's time to show you how these robots are working. One important thing to mention here is that a robot is actually mimicking humans. So this robot can be installed on a laptop or on a desktop machine or even on a virtual machine. Once they are installed there, you will actually see something like a ghost on your computer that opens the browser, types in the URL for the ERP, logs in the ERP, downloads some PDF files, reads the PDF files, sending emails, and so on. And you will see this in the next video. I will show you a robot that is called Pishkot. This robot has 2 jobs. In the first part of the day, the robot is processing orders from the supermarkets. So it takes the orders that are coming via email, and it inputs the orders in the ERP that the client is using. And the second part of the day is doing the reconciliation process. So let's have a quick view of how Pishkot is helping the client to process orders.
At Aggranda, we create time in companies to grow.
Hi, I'm Pishkot. I'm a software robot built by Aggranda on the UiPath platform. I'm now part of Anna Pan's team, one of the biggest names in Romania's bakery industry. My objective is to reduce time and costs by handling the repetitive and time-consuming tasks that people usually hate to do. In this demo, I'll show you how I receive orders from supermarkets via email, input them in the ERP software that Anna Pan uses, and send them out to production. The very next morning, the supermarkets receive the orders that I've processed. I complete a simple process that used to take 3 hours every day for one person to do. That means at least 60 hours a month, or 720 hours a year. More importantly, I make 0 errors. Let me demonstrate how I order and ship cookies for Anna Pan to their clients. First, I get the orders via email in PDF format. An order looks like this. Now, I need to place the order in the ERP software and deliver it to production, so we can start creating the cookies. I open Charisma ERP and log in using my own credentials. From the sales menu, I choose New Order. Now I need to input all the details from the order I got in the email. I select the client who created the order. I enter the location of the supermarket where the cookies should arrive. I select the cost center where the products will be allocated. I select the transaction type based on the business rules that apply. I select the pricing list of the supermarket. Now I'll set the shipping date, which is the very next day. I'll go back to the previous tab and click the Add button. Now I'll add the quantity of cookies from the order I got via email. I search by the product code. I add the quantity. I add the next product code and the quantity. I do the same for all the products that were in the order. I've added the last product from the order, and I close this window. Now I just need to select when the order will leave. It will be the next day at 6 in the morning. I click Save. I validate the order. Now I'll move to the next order from the email. I do this process for the dozens of orders that I get every single day. After I finish all the orders, I'll email my supervisor at Anna Pan to let them know that I've processed them. All of the orders are in an Excel file, as you can see on the screen. The orders that I couldn't add into the system are marked as not processed. My supervisor will see why this has happened, and I'll learn to treat every exception. I'm a very fast learner.
Every day, Pishkot processes orders containing thousands of lines for cookies that Anna Pan will bake and deliver to their partners' shelves. Before Pishkot, humans were doing this. Aggranda has saved time and reduced the errors to 0. Now the team can focus on things that bring more value to Anna Pan. They say nobody can buy time. We challenge them. Aggranda, time to grow.
Okay, and let me show you another very short example.
I am doing this for the next thousands of lines from the bank statement. I will let you see a couple of more transactions added.
You can find a lot of examples on this slide, and you will get the presentation for sure. Use these examples to inspire you when you are choosing what processes should you automate. And speaking of that, we will stay a bit longer on this slide because it's very important to understand how to choose the right processes to automate using software robots. First of all, go for highly manual and repetitive processes. Look for processes that are repeating daily or maximum weekly. Don't go for processes that are monthly, or don't even think about processes that are done quarterly or yearly. If you choose a process that happens every single day, the chances to find the exceptions and solve those exceptions are much higher. If you choose to work on a process that is happening once at a couple of months, it will probably work on the test data, and after that you will need to wait a couple of months to have the new data, and you will find exceptions and so on. So go for very, very repetitive processes. Pick the ones that you are doing every single day if possible. For example, at Pishkot, that robot is processing orders that are coming daily. Robots are being trained only for rule-based processes. Yeah, so the robots, of course, they don't have emotions, so they are working only only on rule-based processes. Then go for processes always that have standard readable electronical input. Here I'm talking about processes where you have as input an Excel file or a PDF file or any type of platform, no matter if it's a web-based platform or a desktop Windows-based platform. Yeah, so the robots are being trained to read that interface very, very easily. Of course, we can automate processes that involve paperwork, for example, invoices that are in paperwork, with the help of OCR. But I would highly recommend you to start with digital input first, and after that extend the robots to paperwork. Always go for high volumes. For example, don't pick a process where you only have, 30 invoices a month to be automated. Go for processes where you have 300 invoices or 3,000 invoices every month. The higher the volume is, the better it is, because it will save you more time in the end. Go for processes with a very low exception rate. Don't go for very complex processes. It is better to automate a process that is very, very simple, but it takes a very long time for your people to do it, rather than choosing a process that is complex and complicated, but it takes, maybe 10 minutes to do the process. Go for processes where the platforms where the robot is working won't change very soon. For example, if you know the ERP that you are using, you will change it in the next couple of months. Don't go for that process. Wait for the ERP to be changed, and after that, automate the process. And this is because the robots are trained to do every single click in the interface, and once you change the ERP, you will need to train the robot again. And everything that you've done previously, it's something like wasted work and wasted money, and you don't want that for sure. Of course, go for savings. And with these robots, it's very, very simple to calculate the return on investment. And it's very simple because you are looking at the FTEs, at the full-time employees. We don't choose processes where we save less than 1 or 2 FTEs. For example, you can have 10 people that are doing every single day 1 hour a specific process, entering process orders or handling the onboarding process from HR and so on. And that's almost 1.5 FTE together if you save 1 hour every day from 10 people. Or you can go to a process that is done by a single person 8 hours a day. If you have one single person that is entering data from invoices, go for that process. And last but not least, always choose mature and stable processes. Don't automate processes that weren't existing yesterday. Choose processes that you have for more than 6 months, because this way you know all the exceptions that can appear. And now I will show you another example of a software robot that is working in the HR department of a client, and it handles the onboarding process.
Aggranda, time to grow.
Hi, my name is Arya. I'm a software robot built by Aggranda on the UiPath platform, and I'm the new HR assistant in Provident, a leading small loans provider. I help Provident with their HR department's onboarding and offboarding processes. Let me show you how I handle the onboarding part. My colleagues sent me a list of prospective candidates, which looks like the one on the screen. I start checking the candidates in Provident's system one by one to verify whether or not the candidate's information meets all the background criteria necessary for employment with Provident. This background check on candidates is crucial given the nature of the work Provident hires them to perform. I log in using my own credentials. I search for the candidate using their social security number. If I find the person is in the system, it means that Provident has some existing information on the candidate, and a human will need to review that information. So I skip the candidate and send it to manual verification. I go to the next candidate and perform the same search, classifying the candidates depending on their history as either good to go when they're not in the system or needs human decision when they are. I do the same for all the 10 candidates that I have in this demo. On the left side of the screen, you can see employees who have been interviewed and who are ready to receive an employment offer from Provident. Arya will look on the column M and create the offer for the ones marked with yes. The offer is created from a template, which is customized to match the data of the interviewed candidate. The offer is saved in PDF format. I mark the prospect in the list from my colleagues with Offer Sent. I move to the next candidate and follow the same steps. You can see on the screen a notification that shows the offer has been sent to one of the hiring managers. I do the same for the next candidates. And now I will show you how I create a new job position in the Provident system, the profile for the new employee, and the legal contract. These are all standard procedures that we do to register new employees within our company. I log in the HR platform. I type in all the details about the position that I'm about to create. I switch to the next tab and fill in the details about the cost center. Then I save the position created and switch to the overview mode. I assign the standard benefits for the position. I add the supervisor for this position, and I save the modifications. Next, I add the functional supervisor for this position, and again, I save the modifications. I access the person list webpage, and I add the new person. Then I fill in the details about citizenship, and I go to the next step. Now, I type in the new employee's name, social security number, and start date. I add other needed personal identification details. I now insert the address where the new employee lives, and I navigate to the last step. Again, I save the modifications and return to the overview mode. Now I'll add the contract details, and I fill in the salary details. I add the number of working hours per day, and move to the last step in the form. I switch to overview mode. I navigate to the contract attachment page where I download the contract in docs format. After I save the contract on the drive, I convert it to PDF format, and I log out from the HR platform. Now that I've finished these processes for one prospective employee, I can move on to the next one.
Every day, Arya helps Provident with their repetitive responsibilities in the HR department. Before Arya, humans were doing these mundane tasks. Aggranda has saved time and reduced the errors in these steps to 0. Now the team can focus on things that bring more value to Provident. They say nobody can buy time. We challenge them. Aggranda, time to grow.
So I hope that this presentation was useful for you. I think it's very easy for you to understand how this software are robots by seeing some video examples. And as you have seen, These robots can be used in almost any department. They can be used in the finance and accounting department. They can be used in the HR department, in logistics, operational, sales, marketing, and so on. I will be more than happy to answer to all of your questions in the Q&A session. Until then, if you will scan the code, you will find more examples of software robots that can inspire you and help your company to scale faster. Have a good day. Cheers.
Aggranda. Time to grow.